Welcome back to the session. Welcome back to the session. We're back with another episode. We're just getting a quick little smoke session in. We gotta lock in with our e-commerce stores today. We have two separate stores. We have the Billionaire Yacht Club, and then we have ColeSeason.com. Both are clothing brand stores, and we just got to do some logistics on the back end. Look at inventory, see what's still available and whatnot. We do use drop shipping, so we don't actually have no physical product, on us unless we just, want to have some physical product, just in case, people want, some shit. If we got it on hand, or if we are doing like some type of affiliate marketing and we want to have some folks as brand ambassadors type deal, and then obviously we'll hook some folks up with some merch, and then they can try to sell off of their audience instead of quote unquote our audience and just running ads and things like that. You got to utilize different marketing tools to get some of the results that you want. So we got to lock in with the store, because there's a lot of brands out there that I just genuinely don't think that are as good as some of the brands that I have. But, they're seeing more success, and it doesn't really matter, if the brand's better or not. It's all about, what's the marketing looking like, you know what I'm saying? What's the advertising looking like? What's the logistics behind the operation? How does the website look, etc. Are you doing it solo? Are you doing it with the team? What type of automation is going on? Like, there's a lot of things that, that go into, a Shopify store or just an e-commerce store in general. And how consistent are you? Are you consistent with it, or, are you locked in for 2-3 days, or 3 or 4 days, and then you don't go and check on your store for months, months on end, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely about, getting that consistency going, you know what I'm saying? And really locking in, trying to figure out some marketing strategies. Not everyone has funds to just, throw down on marketing, advertising, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got to put your last dollars into, ads, those ads may not hit, and now you're going to be broke, no money. You still gonna have to pay for platform fees for, having your store even live. And you still got bills to pay, you still got mouths to feed. And, it can get discouraging for some folks. And they don't like to talk about this side of e-commerce, this side of, running your own online business. It's always, oh, you can work your own schedule. You can work anywhere in the world. You can do this and while all running your business, da 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 da. People want to pitch that, but it's like, we gotta talk about, the dark times that come with e-commerce, the failures that come with e-commerce, you know what I'm saying? The self-doubt that could pop up into your head, the loneliness, especially if you're in it dolo, you're in it by yourself, you know what I'm saying? People ain't believing in you. Like, you gotta be able to, I feel like that shit should be, talked about in e-commerce, but it's always oh, you can travel and work your own schedule. You can do this, and that, be your own boss, da 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 da. Oh, we made 40,000 last month. You can too. Ha ha ha. Follow my store. Like, people gotta stop. Like, oh yeah, you could be doing this too. Let us build a store for you, and it only costs $20. This and that. But it's like, anybody can put together a store, you know. That's not hard to do. Like, that's lazy if you feel like you have to pay someone to put a store together for you. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, they put the store together for you. You're still gonna have to pay for your platinum fees, your platform fees monthly. On top of that, you know, you're still gonna have to market on your own and advertise on your own to get sales. You know what I'm saying? No one cares about, you know, oh, I just have a website. I'm doing e-commerce. No, what are the sales? What are the numbers looking like? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you eat. So they don't really talk about, you know what I'm saying, the real grit that comes behind it. Like, so it's all about like really just locking in, you know, and trying to make some shit crack. And so I know for my stores, you know, it's all about locking in, staying consistent, and really just start pushing the brands again. Because that's another thing. When you got a lot of different things going on, you got a lot of different things in the work, you tend to put, you know, some things on the back end. You don't forget about them, but you put some things on the back end and, you know, might not give it the attention that it needs. And these bitches need attention. So you gotta lock in, you know what I'm saying? I gotta lock in too. And, you know, push the stores, because with that type shit, that's instant bread. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you get it out there and people fucking with it, you know, you make that sale, you know what I'm saying? That's instant bread, like, to your account, you know what I'm saying? And you can do that shit from anywhere. So, you know, the pros do outweigh the cons for sure. And, you know, there's no limit on what you can actually, you know, make, especially when you're using a drop shipping type model, because you can always, you know, update products and, you know, get products onto your store, get designs and things like that, merch, clothes, all on your store, and, you know, continue to sell. And there's some brands that have done really well, you know, and I feel like, you know, our stores are gonna be one of them. We just gotta stay consistent, you know, figure out some new marketing strategies, and you know, just get to it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we still got some, you know, crypto that, you know, we just hold. You know, you just hold the crypto. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's why crypto is just a small part. You know, just a small part of your, you know, portfolio. You know, you need multiple streams of income. You know, crypto's good to get into, because while you're doing everything else, you know, that's the type of shit where it's like you get an alert one day and then you see that your account is just booming. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we're not even really waiting on those days. We just got into the positions we needed to get into. So whenever the time comes, you know, it's like we'll be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? But we still got other things that, you know, that need to be done. You know what I'm saying? That's why you never put all your eggs in one basket. You need to, you know, be able to have different type of vehicles to make money. You know what I'm saying? If one thing falls through with your grind, your work ethic, you know, other things should be able to, you know, pick up, because, you know, you have options. You know, you made sure that, you know, you're doing what you needed to do to be able to, you know, tap in other areas and get some shit done. You know what I'm saying? So we got the music back up, you know, just 6 songs out right now. Back in the game, you know, J2 Code, you know what I'm saying? Go check out the music. The merch, we're gonna get the merch, like I said, we're gonna get the merch booming with the 2 separate stores. You know, we're gonna be doing a lot more promo, posting on, you know, IG, yeah, you know what I'm saying, posting on IG about the stores and whatnot, and see what we can do, you know, see what we can do. But it's all about, you know, locking in, doing what needs to be done, and yeah, you know, just lock in and fucking keep working. You know what I'm saying? Like 24 hours in a day, what are you doing with, you know, all your time? Are you just mindlessly scrolling through social media for hours and hours? I mean, you can do that, or you can, you know, put an hour a day, you know, trying to figure out ways to market, you know, your brands and things like that that you've already created. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you've already created your store. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a new day. You know, what type of marketing are you gonna do to get your shit out there? You know, fuck the views. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the likes. You know what I'm saying? Who cares about that shit? You know, just make the content for your merch or your brand, product, whatever you have, and you know, promote it. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do make a catchy video about your product, or you know, you have an appealing caption or photo or something of your product, and you want to post it, go ahead and post it, and then you know, you could possibly advertise that if you feel like, you know, it could possibly get some traction back to your business. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as long as motherfuckers stay consistent and continue to work towards the shit, you know, it'll be able to do something that it's supposed to do, you know. But this is a session, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, y'all put down that tobacco, y'all stop smoking that garbage, you know what I'm saying. Y'all don't need to do that no more, you know. Just get you some raw papers, you know what I'm saying, elevate your lifestyle, and then keep it pushing. But yeah, we're probably gonna update the brands too, you know what I'm saying, as far as like some of the clothing we got on there. Update everything, get it right, and then like I damn near need to make like new socials for my sites too, you know what I'm saying? Make a Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, probably just Instagram and TikTok for it. And then I'll just use my regular Twitter that, you know, I already have to just like, you know, I'll just promote it on my main shit, my main Twitter or whatever. And I don't even have that many followers because I just got back on Twitter a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? So it'll basically just, you know, I'll use that for my main Twitter to promote both sites. You know what I'm saying? Just to get it out there. I don't even think it would really do no traction for real. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to push the brands, you know what I'm saying? And continue to do everything else that we're doing, you know what I'm saying? So Cold Season brand, I had that shit for the longest. You know, I've sold merch. Obviously, you know, we've sold some, you know, good merch in the past. Um, the Billionaire Yacht Club store. Newer, you know, we had that one for about a year, you know, about a year now. The Cold Season store, I've had that shit for like 7 years. But like I said, yeah, it's time to just lock in and start posting about them every day. figured out some different little marketing tools, see if they got some type of AI marketing or something like that, something that can scale. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll figure it out. But hopefully y'all had a smooth little smoke session. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Lolo. Shouts out Connected. I'm gonna tap in with y'all. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Turn on post notifications. And I'm gonna see y'all later.